SPQR, so. Plot. Quick recap. There's been a Regni spy inside the Cantii citadel all along, whom we assume is the now fled Philan. Divis is possessed by TOWIE and feels ghastly rumblings that the Demon King might be about to return. Down into the depths dives Divis, and in the underworld he meets Owlus inspecting his own hacked-up corpse in a ditch. Kate stands holding a flaming SPQR banner and Owlus looks terrified of her. Is she Boudica? Is she a goddess? Just as Divis is leaving the Netherland, he is entangled by TOWIE. He helpfully says the Demon King's name for those not keeping up, and returns to Earth possessed anew. Antidia's gift list grows ever longer as she's now awaiting delivery of both Kara, alive, and Varan's head on a nice big stick. She's beginning to remind me of Blackadder 2 Eskini. Hurdy-gurdy brain hug. Hurdy-gurdy man is now my favorite bit of every episode because it briefly takes me to a place when this series was all potential and I hadn't heard the dialogue yet. To be fair, this episode's script is the best so far. Kara, wearing a lovely crown of greenery and white berries, processes back into the Cantii settlement as their new queen. To cheers from the throng, she casts a kind look on newly arrived Kate and the little girl is plainly thrilled. Later, she invites the youngster back to her quarters and gives her the dress Kara's mum made for her. She plans to be a thoughtful, beneficent ruler. Meanwhile, her wicked sister-in-law Amina, Buhis, fingers a dagger as she prepares to pay homage to the new monarch, but she doesn't gut her with it as you might expect and instead steals a lock of her lovely red hair. Having failed to win power the conventional way, she now decides to lay a curse on her beautiful nemesis with all pentagrams and bulgy-eyed mutterings, and that. The one and only Kate Stat says he knows the gods gave him a special daughter to raise for an important purpose, little realizing he's thinking about the wrong daughter. In this episode, if you hadn't already guessed, we confirm that the gods have a plan for Kate and she will, if the vision both Owlus and Divis see in the underworld is to be trusted, one day defeat the Romans. Lyndon reluctantly says he'll stay with Amina even though she is a swivel-eyed rage fountain hell-bent on destroying a perfectly nice woman for no real reason, but he'll probably find somewhere else to sleep. Dark Mother, send me a demon to do my will. She mutters over her pentagram before nodding off and awaking to find the clump of Kara's hair is now neatly wound. Did the Dark Mother pop in while she was asleep and also leave her a cup of tea, like they do when you've asked them not to disturb you? Shit, says the cowardly Roman runaway when he sees his released friend Vitus return from Cantii captivity. Rather than sticking around to get outed as a big chicken, he does the decent thing and runs away, taking the other soldier, blissed out from Divis' Jedi mind meddling with him. I'm still not sure why we are supposed to care about either of them. Before agreeing to Kara's parley, Owlus hears from Lucius that a little girl freed her blind father from slavery and fled the camp. We are continually hit over the head with these references, so anyone who hasn't got this by now, see me afterwards. Slowly but surely, Owlus is getting the picture. Someone just needs to give his Ariel a little waggle. You look well, have you put on a bit of weight? He says to Varan as he meets him in the middle of a field to essentially tell him to get lost. Varan tells the general that he was followed into the underworld and someone else saw what he saw. The two men part on bad terms and Varan tells his accomplice that Owlus will soon be ready. At this point, because we have to talk in Witchy-woo terms now, we have no choice. I assume this means that Owlus is possessed by Loka, Divis is possessed by TOWIE, and there is one more Demon King knocking around somewhere. And they all have to fight, I think. On their march through the forest, the Romans see the dismembered legs and guts of their fellow soldiers, apparently torn limb from limb by Divis, who has transformed into some kind of rabid canine gouger beast. Owlus puts the remaining Roman soldier out of his misery by stamping on his chest and moves on to his parley with Antidia. He just skips from one Celt to the next, promising the earth and being charming, but where has it got him so far? He's still sat preening in his big tent in no apparent hurry to conquer anything. You're late. Where's my present? Demands Antidia as Owlus arrives. She's referring to Varan's head. See? Pure queenly. she reluctantly stands down her army with the caveat that it only be till dawn. Then you can lick my crack, she adds playfully. The Regni flirting technique really is quite direct. Trump or Butterworth or Fowlis goes to turn on the charm with Kara, telling her his soldiers could keep the peace at her citadel for 100 years. That's a lot of peace, he grins. And then adds with refreshing frankness, I don't know my fucking Cantii from my Regni. That's a Trump then a Butterworth. Still hoping